Hi, welcome to the podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Today in Unit 2 Theoretical Approaches, let us start our conversation on topic interactionalism. Interactionalism emerged as an alternative perspective to understand the relationship between individual and society. In its unit of analysis, interactionalism shifts importance from the larger society to the individual. Drawn largely from a social psychological perspective, interactionalism starts by examining the nature of interaction itself and henceforth explores the nature of interaction between members of the society. Opposing the role of external conditions to explain an individual's action in relation with the larger society, interactionalism tries to understand how an individual constructs meaning in the process of interaction. An individual, in his or her interaction with others, interprets and defines situations, develops meanings which direct his or her action, and so constructs his or her own social world. Interactionists focus on easily observable face to face interactions rather than on macro level structural relationships involving various social units. They study social interaction through qualitative methods like participant observation rather than surveys and interviews. Interactionalists insist that close contact and immersion in the everyday lives of the research subjects is important for understanding the meaning of actions and the process by which individuals construct the situation through their interaction. They are, however, criticized for being overly impressionistic in their research method and possible bias in their observations. Developments in interactionalism led to the birth of various subtheories or perspectives like phenomenology, symbolic interactionalism, and ethnomethodology. Some of the significant contributors to this perspective are Cooley, Mead, Bloomer, Skurz, Garfinkel, and Berger and Luckman. Cooley's concept of the looking glass self shows how an individual develops the meaning of self by reflecting others' perception of who is he. This process of one mind responding to other mind involves how we imagine our appearance to the others, how we imagine others' judgment of that appearance, and our personal feeling about that judgment. According to Mead, individuals construct the self through the process of role taking. Role taking involves the individual imaginatively taking the role of the other person with whom he is interacting. Goffman equates social world with theatrical drama, in which actors present their self in everyday life through impression management. Employing the interactionalistic perspective, sociologists of education seek to explore the ways in which teachers and students interpret and assign the meaning to their interactions. Interactionalism suggests that the status of the students in an educational system is decided by the nature of interactions with teachers, where meanings are constructed beyond the academic parameters. A study by Howard Becker delineated meanings by which teachers evaluated the students. The study demonstrated that teachers constructed the image of an ideal student as one who came from non-working class and of a problematic student as one who came from working class. Another study by the Cruel and the Kitsus confirms that the students were classified based on their class background rather than academic performances and other non-academic factors like their appearance and manners, etc. Apart from evaluation, teachers' perception about students also affects the nature of knowledge imparted. Caddy finds that the social class is an important factor in defining and classifying students. Though students were supposedly divided in terms of ability, students within each group exhibited similar socio-economic background. In other words, in classification of students in various groups, students who belong to upper socio-economic background formed the higher level, and lower level was occupied by the student from lower socio-economic background. Though teachers were expected to impart similar knowledge, they modified their methods and the nature of information imparted to different categories of students. Students who belong to different groups also responded differently to the nature of the knowledge imparted to them. For instance, what is an ideal family, as told by the teacher, was accepted by the higher class students, not by lower class students. Caddy reasons that the lower class students' non-acceptance was due to their different construction of meaning for family based on their own socio-economic background. Here we want to close or wind up this conversation, and thank you so much for choosing this podcast.